going to start on Prime Video with a new feature-length documentary called Man on the Run. And here's a clip.
Wings was a dud when it first came out. If anybody bad-mouthed us, I was thinking, I'm going to make the best record you've ever heard. Say, live and let die. People thought we were totally crazy, but that was our way. And the word spread that, like, this was a good show.
Well, we haven't been short on deep dives into the Beatles in recent years, have we, Hannah? There's been quite a lot of stuff. However, as the title, you might have guessed from the title, which is a sort of variation on Band on the Run, this is all about Paul McCartney and Wings and Macca's post-Beatles sort of creative rebirth, if you will. It's directed by Morgan Neville, who I had a little chat with last week. He's done a lot of music documentaries. He did one called 20 Feet from Stardom, which was sort of about backing singers, which I think was picked up an Academy Award. In this, we sort of joined Paul McCartney immediately, well, at the point where the Beatles officially split up. So, which he kind of got the flack for because he was this one who sort of made the official announcement, but effectively John Lennon had already checked out. And when you think about it, I mean, he's been in the world's most successful group ever for his entire adult life. He's still a young man. He's just starting a family. He's just got married. And it has a massive effect on him. I mean, they don't really dwell on it, but they go and live on this farm in Scotland that he owns. And it just sounds like he's depressed. He's drinking heavily. It's all a bit grim. However, he's just one of those people who, yeah, he just can't stop creating, really. So he releases some solo material, which doesn't get a great reception. And then you think he'd be on a hiding to nothing, putting a new band together, especially a band with his wife Linda in it, and she got a lot of flack, didn't she? But he did. He put Wings together, and they ended up being hugely successful. Of course, it was like Alan Partridge described Wings as the band the Beatles could have been, which was very funny. But I do like Wings, and I think the thing is, if you look at the first three singles that he put out post Beatles, there, you know, it was Mary Had a Little Lamb, and another one was Give Ireland Back to the Irish. That he just wanted to do something that was complete departure from the Beatles, and he succeeded in that. Then, of course, he got the Bond theme for Live and Let Die. But Band on the Run, which had a kind of iconic album cover, the way that Sgt. Pepper did, didn't it? With all those celebrities sort of dressed up as escapees from a prison. That was sort of the high point for Wings. And, yeah, they went on to tour very successfully, and they took the kids on tour. You see the kids in the recording studio, you see the kids on tour, so it's a real kind of family affair with Linda on keyboards as well. So I think that was a really important element for him. So I kind of get the feeling that, like, Lennon was always portrayed as the cool Beatle, and McCartney not so much. And there's something about Wings that they were just having a good time. He was just enjoying playing live. He didn't need to do anything. He could just stay in Scotland, just on the farm, having a nice time. But he just wanted to get out there. He wanted to keep writing songs. He wanted to be in a band again, and he wanted to tour, and he wanted Linda to be there, and he wanted the kids to be there. And he did it. And amazingly, he was really successful at it. In fact, Band on the Run made him the most successful of the Beatles as a solo artist. So, yeah, I mean, I love anything to do with the Beatles. I'm absolutely on board with. And I thought this was... McCartney's an executive producer, and they have the audio interviews with him. and then lots and lots of archive footage. So yeah, for music fans, it's an absolute must watch, and it did get a cinema release as well. What did you think, Hannah?
Well, I mean, I just love anything that kind of deep dives into, you think you know somebody. I mean, the band like the Beatles is just so massive. You feel like you personally know them, and clearly we don't, because when you watch archive footage like this and you just see them being real and stuff that we've never seen before, you get a complete insight into the person behind the stage person, if that makes sense. And, you know, seeing when the Beatles broke up, I think we've discussed boy bands before, haven't we? You know, with Take That, that's not long been out, and what really goes on, and the pressure to produce and to be show ponies all the time, it just has to take out on you. I'm not suggesting we feel sorry for these people that have really amazing privileged lives and all the rest of it, but essentially the pressure to produce and create music and be something that everyone thinks you are must wear thin eventually. And I just think this gives a very real and very raw insight into their lives, and when they broke up and how difficult that was. And, you know, Linda McCartney was the love of his life, wasn't she? I mean, he just adored her. And I think that seeing that kind of footage and understanding the journey he's been on to Paul McCartney kind of makes everything become a little bit clearer. I think it's great. I think with every music documentary, you don't have to be a massive Beatles fan, although it helps. You just learn so much, and I love to explore that person that's behind the show pony, basically.